Please welcome the director, writer, and producer of Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro.
Well, I just took a plane from Mexico. My feet hurt. I haven't had dinner, and I hear those forks and I am salivating. But I'm here for one reason, and that is Mike Hill. I don't know how many of you know this, but for about over a decade, in order to make my first film, Kronos, I learned and did makeup effects. And that was enough not for me to be really good at it, but for me to be really good at pestering people and telling them how to get good at it or how to demand they get good at it quick. In my experience of 30 years, probably about 80% of the people will get you there 50%. About 10% of the people will get you 60 to 70% there. Then 5% of the people will get you to 90%. But there's 1% of makeup artists that will get you there to 100%. And then after that, half of that will actually sculpt a character. Not a makeup effect, not a monster, not a creature, but an actual character. Out of those, even less are storytellers. And in the history of our craft, we have come to regard this as a technical or artistic achievement, but it's actually a storytelling achievement. They not only tell you what the creature is, what it represents, where it comes from. In the blink of an eye, you get all that information, but also they help the actor. There's a famous anecdote about Laurence Olivier, where he said makeup effects are a little bit like rain. When an actor is in a rain scene, he should let the rain do a little bit of the acting for him. And I agree with him, and I agree that makeup effects are like that. And that we have a really powerful story tradition. Very few even of the most remarkable makeup effects guys are creature guys, because they are mostly character makeup, age, historical likeness, and very few of them are gifted to create a creature that is compelling, that holds your eye, and is completely believable as a living, breathing character. You can think of Jack Pierce, Lon Chaney, Dick Smith, Rick Baker, and the man that we honor tonight, I met as a Frankenhead many years ago in an event that sounds really not very prestigious. It's called Monsterpalooza. And it takes place in Burbank, and the people that go there mostly are pale like me, and mostly like me, feed on Cheetos. And we are very, very well versed on things that nobody cares, but we care for vehemently. And Mike had a 7-foot-tall, close-up, hyper-realistic head of Boris Karloff as the monster. And I was there when his stand was closed, and I went and said, who sculpted this? Well, this guy called Mike Hill. And I already admire his sculptures about how genial they were. He trained with Madame Tussauds. So he was able to create characters that looked like they were in the middle of a breath, in the middle of a step. And what I wanted more than anything in the world, be it by buying it or stealing it after Monsterpalooza closed, was that close-up head of Boris Karloff. I met with Mike. I had to reassure him that I was of the faith. And we geeked out about data, about Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, the differences on the makeup. And he said, well, maybe I'll sell it to you. I said, I'll put it on the balcony. You enter my place, and he said, I'll sell it to you because that's why I made it. I wanted to reinvigorate what you felt in the 1930s when you saw Boris Karloff large on the screen, before it became a serial or a battery commercial or a cartoon. And I knew I had met my brother. He later helped me create The Shape of Water, in which he created a remarkable amphibian man. And now we just finished Frankenstein, which we were both destined to make. I want you to know all this because the man you're welcoming tonight is a remarkable monster kid, which most of you will just think of us as weirdos. But he's an incredible sculptor, painter, and artist, and he's well-versed in every frame of composition, of creation of character, and he is a man that I admire with all my heart. Please let's welcome Mike Hill.
This doesn't suck, I'll tell you that. Let me get this. You gotta excuse me, I sat on my glasses in the Uber on the way over. So it was supposed to be a Cadillac, but it was an Uber for some reason. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. Anyway, okay, so good evening, everyone. It's an absolute privilege to be here accepting an award for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I have to thank the Hamilton behind the Camera Awards, and of course, Variety. Thank you so much. This is so flattering and, I don't know, so unexpected. Thank you for the producers, Miles Dale and Scott Struber, and Netflix for making this wonderful movie. I've been standing in the shadow of Frankenstein's creation for my whole life. As a young boy, this man-made monster inspired me to make monsters of my own, using clay that I say from the riverbank, but it was really a canal. It wasn't even a riverbank. But I never dreamed out of the honor of standing in, such a prestigious stage and accepting such an esteemed award for my help in bringing this beloved creature to life. But it wasn't just my dreams that carried me here. While I was dreaming of making monsters in the small town England, another little boy across the other side of the world was weaving his own monster-making fantasies in Mexico. His ideas were much more ambitious than mine. I wanted to make the monster only. Guillermo wanted to make the goddamn entire book, So it was a match made in heaven, And here we are today, having both journeyed, to the great city of LA, working together to bring the dreams of two little boys to life. A confluence of hard work, faith, and a wonderful 200-year-old novel. I'd like to thank my partner and assistant, a fantastic artist in her own right, Megan Manny. Thanks, Megan. She is truly the mother of this creature. My makeup team, Richard, Samantha, and Michael, we worked some early call times and long hours. They were extremely exhausting but necessary. The makeup took 10 hours sometimes. So our call time was 10 or midnight, Try to go to sleep at 7 o'clock, knowing you got to be up at 10. But it was necessary, I have to thank Mia Goth. We did a makeup on Mia Goth that no one even notices. So I'm going to leave it at that till you see the movie. And the ever so patient Jacob Elordi, who zen-like state to sit in that chair for 10 hours, it's unimaginable. I don't know.
Don't tell SAG.
Yeah, don't tell SAG. I owe both Mia and Jacob a lot. Anyway, lastly, I have to thank my great friend, Mr. Del Toro, for this honor. I would not be standing here tonight accepting this award if it weren't for his belief in me and his incredible opportunities he's given me. But one last thing before I go. In the movie, the ship's captain asked Victor what manner of devil made him. Victor replies, I did. I made him. I made him. Finally, and I'm eternally grateful. Thank you, guys.